So this is actually kind of our first movie review of 2025. But this is probably the only one you're going to get, so shut up for now. We, yesterday, went to go see the new Superman movie. I know everybody's been seeing it. I blocked the Superman Instagram for weeks because they were spoiling their own goddamn movie. So either way, how did you think about it?
It was hopefully amazing.
Yeah, it was full of optimism and full of, the Superman stuff that we were expecting to see from a movie like this for about a decade straight. And I'm gonna be real, Paul, this is probably one of the most ambitious, films that James has made, because he might have bitten off a little bit more than he could chew.
Alongside with the casting, the story, the visual effects, even the action sequences and the emotionality too.
Yeah, so everything about it just sets in stone. It already just pre-establishes everything you need to know about Superman. I mean, we don't really need an origin story in order to tell us, like, how he grew up and all that stuff. Like, that's already been established in hundreds of other adaptations either way. And the fact that they just went with a title crawl and just said, oh, many years ago a boy landed in a small field, and then it says, like, 3 months ago he started dating who and who, like Lois, right?
Yeah.
And then 3 hours later, Superman lost his first fight.
Yeah.
But they didn't really show him losing his first fight, or they didn't we didn't even get to see him interact with, like, how he reacted to it at first, or even reflect on it. Like, I'll admit, the first part of this movie kind of had me a little bit to struggle with the first half. Like, it wasn't bad or per se, but, like, it pulled me right in once we got into the second half, and then it got better,
You know what they could have showed in the first half of saying it for him losing in his first fight? It could have mentioned that Bloodsport actually shot him with the kryptonite bullet, just like mentioned in the Suicide Squad.
Maybe that's what they could set up, though, but I highly doubt we're ever going to see that. But either way, I was really surprised that was the opening crawl of the movie, because either way, it pre-establishes so much about, like, groundwork for, like, this new DC universe, and the fact that Superman, like, loses his first fight as his first introduction really shows you that this is a Superman that is not at that level yet. Like, he's not
still building up. He's still bulking up.
Like, yeah, he's still young and experienced, but he can still, like, he's very powerful and can still manage to, do things when he needs to.
He's developing a team and, like, all that.
Well, he's not really a team right now. He's just kind of doing his own thing while the others do all the work,
Yeah.
So either way, he's not really a team member.
Besides, they even haven't figured out a name or anything like that. Other stuff yet.
Yeah. So they've teased a lot of stuff. You're probably going to see the Justice League later down the line, which I think is going to be really cool to see. The first half kind of made me, like, it was a little weird to get into first, and then the second half, like, pulls you right into it.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about, what are we going to talk about? The fight scenes. If there's one thing that James Gunn really knows how to do, the fight scenes are like the best thing in the entire movie, in my opinion. I'm really a sucker when it comes to, like, close-up shots and, like, framed moments of, like, camera work and fights. And man, James really moves the camera a lot during these fights. It's actually really creative. Like, they're super fast and relatively, like, straight to the point.
It's actually the same cinematographer for the Suicide Squad movie.
Really?
Yeah.
No shit. So yeah, that's already been established too. Like, I would even argue to say that the Suicide Squad established this universe now that Peacemaker and Bloodsport and all these other characters could be coming back at some point. Weasel already is in the Suicide Squad, and then
Rick Flag Sr.'s there.
Yeah, so it's like we have plenty of other characters that could show up later down the line. And then the Justice League, which is to build up later down the line, which I find really nice.
Batman, Aquaman, Flash, Wonder Woman, the Lanterns, all that.
Yeah, so it's
Teen Titans, though.
It's not really like a promo for all these other shows, though, but they give you an idea that this universe has already been developed enough to the point where you're like, okay, I know this character and you know that character, Like, hell, I'll even say this, like, Peacemaker even gets a cameo. Like, only for a brief second. Despite him getting a show, like, this August, like, he's been a pretty He's been around much longer than Superman.
Yeah.
So either way, it was really cool to see that happen. Can I just say, I know a lot of people are going to hate me for this, but David Corenswet as Superman and Clark Kent is probably like the most definitive version of the character we could possibly have.
Almost
like he resembles the balance of like dorky.
He's almost accurate to Christopher Reeves, but not all of it. But
no, he has some inspirations from Christopher Reeves, which I find really interesting, like the kindness and the courageousness and bravery. I think David was born to play Superman, and he's really good. I even think the suit's nice. It's a little bit of a different taste depending on what people like, but I think it looks, enough to look like the comic book suit again, which is very nice, but with a modern symbol behind it.
Lois Lane is much more independent and
actually a lot more badass.
Lot more badass too, and the actress they chose is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, and the chemistry that they did for Lois Lane in this movie alone, they only established that in the movie that Clark and Lois were dating for about 3 months in, and it's been like really weird for them. So they're just starting to figure out how this all goes, and then once like they figure it out, they become a couple. I thought their chemistry was really nice, and it was really heartwarming to see these two, bond one another and struggle with the idea of coming to terms with being a superhero.
Let's talk about Lex Luthor.
Yes, Lex.
He's the ultimate hater.
Nicholas Hoult is like Gene Hackman, Kevin Spacey,
and Michael
Rosenbaum to have a baby together, and then there was just Nicholas Hoult. Yeah, every time I saw a scene with him and that as Lex, I was not disappointed. There's always that's the kind of shit that I strive for in a comic book movie, especially in Superman. Because if there's one thing you should know about Lex, he is a D1 hater. He thinks he doesn't think Superman is powerful. He thinks he's better at him at every other level. So that's the problem. That's what makes Lex very threatening. Jimmy Olsen.
He is ladies' man #1 right there.
Yeah, this man gets all the riz. He gets every single woman known to mankind. He even helps out one of Lex's members, which I'm not going to spoil too much, but there's some stuff that goes on behind those two. But Jimmy overall is an interesting character because he does fit the balance between dorkiness and being a ladies' man. Guy Gardner, yes. If y'all have ever seen the animated Justice League cartoon, you would know about Guy Gardner's attitude, and it gave me that exact same vibe with that character because he felt more exactly like how he's supposed to act with flipping him off with the lantern powers and doing all this crazy stuff. The construct powers have always been a part of the lanterns no matter what. Hawk Girl, even though she barely got enough screen time, but whenever she did, she was normally screeching and normally kicking ass and doing her thing and helping out the Justice Gang.
And the actress who plays her isn't my brother's age.
Yes, Isabel. I don't know if you even date people my age, though, but hit me up for real. We had Mr. Terrific.
Yeah, Mr. Terrific. He was an interesting character.
Probably the best secondary character we've had in,
Well, where is he?
You want to find him already? I don't know if you can see him, though, but this is probably one of the most comic-accurate looking suits I have ever seen. Possibly in a superhero movie in a while. And yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised if this character started to create an army of Mr. Terrific heads. Because I'm already a Mr. Terrific head. I really want to buy a comic book from that.
And let's explain about the surprise cameo for the upcoming new DC movie, Supergirl.
Yeah, so Supergirl is... Well, I think we already knew she was in it either way.
And the only thing that she appears in the movie is that she's drunk, picking up crypto, leaving, just yep.
Yeah, so it's her dog. It's not Soup's dog at all. Yeah, so if you're wondering why he said, where's the dog? He didn't say my dog. It's the dog. So it's either way. Superman was constantly can I just point this out too at the end of this review?
Yeah.
Superman isn't easy being him.
Yeah.
No, you can't really be there everywhere all at once just in case if you know, depending being the fastest, the strongest, and, you know, the most powerful in the world. Well, at the end of the day, what makes Superman human is he gets scared, he tries hard enough, he fails, even though he wakes up every day just trying to, you know, do his thing. And people just shit on him for it, and yet he constantly tries to do it. Like,
Right.
he constantly gets up and finds a way to fix things no matter what. This movie was really good, and if you were a fan of DC or anything Superman related, I highly recommend watching this because it is a film that may take some time to getting used to in the very beginning, but once it pulls you in, it'll get you right in there, Bo.
Right.
It is absolutely insane. And I'm already looking forward to seeing what this new future is establishing for DC.
After watching the Suicide Squad, Creature Commandos, and Superman.
Yeah, we should have done a review of Creature Commandos.
We should have.
Well, we did watch that a while ago. I'm also glad that this movie has established that Superman is not boring or anything Boy Scout related. But if you guys still think this way, now that this movie's dropped, there is no redeeming you whatsoever. I'm going to give Superman an 8.5 out of 10. So anyway, guys, that's about it.
8.5.
See ya.